2022 Hot 6 GSL Super Tournament Season 2.
We're back, everybody, and we're ready to go on into the final best of 5. If you're just now joining us, Creator has fallen, losing 1-3 against Solar. And now it's going to be a TVT, GuMiho versus SpeCial.
Yeah, the foreign hope here at GSL Super Tournament. SpeCial going to look to see if he can win this TVT and end a kind of rough stretch of games against GuMiho, as GuMiho has had his numbers so far in this year, but you know, TVT, a lot of things can happen. It's
a good matchup right now. I've had a lot of fun casting TVT this whole year. And look, I think GuMiho, he scores a little bit higher on versus SpeCial. I don't think that means SpeCial can't win the series, but I think it's less likely.
I think it's absolutely doable. I mean, GuMiho is, I think, 6-1 in games against SpeCial in the last 6 months, so he has a winning record, but GuMiho did get 3-0'd by Hero Marine at DreamHack, so that was a TVT loss that he had to another foreign player. I don't know if SpeCial talked to Hero Marine about that in preparation for this, but I'm sure that he watched the games.
Right.
Maybe, I mean, he can see that and he can kind of find some weaknesses in GuMiho's gameplay that he might be able to exploit here in this series. Maybe there's a little bit of mind games that can come in, but yeah, these guys, both players, kind of similar play styles, both kind of like some quirky builds, both kind of like to play with mech a little bit.
Yeah, both a little bit more inclined to mech. Both very active in the matchup. They, you know, certainly like to drop a lot in the early game and early mid game. So I think this could be one of the more explosive TVTs here. I do welcome a kind of dramatic, drawn-out TVT, but let's see how this goes. It does seem like TVT is, you know, with both races, well, both players having such a brittle race at moments in the game. At this, you know, it's such a glass cannony race, Terran is.
Yeah.
That it seems like people are very good at kill moves nowadays.
Yeah, I feel like sometimes I'm like blind and like trying to make my way through a forest when I'm casting TVT at moments, especially if you watch like the best players in the world. Like if you see Maru do it, some of the moves like they don't really make sense until they do.
This was me when I first came out to Korea in Brood War, because I came from just the Protoss focus, and then it's like, all right, well here's the TVZ, and you're like, oh boy, all right, let's see what I know about this.
Yeah, but
it'll get better as time passes.
I think it'll be a really fun series.
Yeah,
I'm excited for this one. I'm hoping that SpeCial gives us a good show. I mean, we've had a lot of really kind of one-sided series. Even Creator, like versus Solar, that was a pretty close series up there until the end, and that was even a 3-1.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't mind this one going the distance. I wouldn't mind seeing some longer games.
Yeah, I think otherwise it's going to be, I think, a surprisingly short day here for Super Tournament, to say the least. Waterfall is going to be the map to start things off. This is GuMiho versus SpeCial. SpeCial, the only non-Korean player here in the GSL Super Tournament. If he loses, it's only you and me left, State, for the foreigners in this event.
We're not going to win it.
We're not going to win it. We never do. Guys, game 1 starts now here. GuMiho versus SpeCial. Let's go.
Game start. Terran, GuMiho. Terran, SpeCial.
I really like the little player intros we have this season.
Yeah.
It's cool. The graphic design is pretty cool for this one.
Yeah,
you zoom in on like the command center, the Nexus, and like you get like the silhouette, and it perfectly matches up. And oh my goodness, GuMiho!
Gonna zoom in on that barracks, put a little silhouette over that. This is GuMiho,
Terran,
right? I had to do a double check of who's what color. Okay,
that's
so
GuMiho
with a there's a second SCV sent out here, right?
Oh, come all the way from Canada,
Vancouver.
Thank you for
Some
coming
NA
down.
support here.
Yeah, I think I might have said that was SpeCial doing the proxy, but yeah, it's GuMiho. I also had to do a double take, not used to the colors yet.
So, I mean, what can be done here with this? I mean, SpeCial's going to go for the quick gas now. Both the Raxes are going to finish up, and I assume there's going to be Reapers coming out here. He's got gas and everything like that. So, rushes like this, you got to watch the first couple units of SpeCial very carefully.
Yeah, it's the kind of thing that can snowball very quickly and spiral out of control.
Because if the Reapers start to get 1 or 2 kills, then it just sort of, it begins to pile on. And things can get really bad. Now, we almost never have anybody die outright, but, you know, this is one of those moments where you need to kind of like out of all the things you're thinking about right now with SpeCial, you also have to be thinking Reapers could come in my base right now. That has to be just sort of in the back of your head, and you need to be ready for that moment when it comes.
Yeah, and seeing the way this barracks is rallied, I'm wondering if SpeCial's going to be able to scout this right away. Because GuMiho, you might want to pull a couple of Reapers before he comes in. Oh, I think SpeCial might have spotted him. Yeah, he knows.
Yeah,
he saw him on the low ground, so SpeCial has a very good idea of what's going on now. Pulling 5 SCVs as well as his Reaper. And it's going to try and isolate each one of these.
Well, they get in, and they're going to try to isolate that Reaper!
Oh.
And he could maybe just... Oh, he's going to have to chase it out.
The third one, though, is going to pop for the barracks.
Oh!
Oh, no.
That's huge. SpeCial, I think, probably had the most doable position from there. Now, he's going to let this Reaper heal up. Now, again, the first one was shot down. The second Reaper now is out here for SpeCial. You know, it's funny, Reapers heal fast, but it feels like it takes forever if you're the rusher right now as GuMiho.
I think once he gets this Marine and Hellion out, with these SCVs, he should be able to stabilize. It's a nice grenade. Some of these SCVs very low on HP here, but SpeCial feeling confident he's going to be able to defend. No bunker going down, just throwing down the command center. As he's going to try his best to stabilize here. But it is a very scary position, especially now with only a handful of SCVs pulled. 2 Marines, 2 Hellions, and 1 Reaper.
So now he goes for more of a contained position here. Now, even if SpeCial has enough to get out, you need to be wary about the grenades, because that can kind of cause some mix-ups.
Yeah, but behind this, I mean, GuMiho only just now going for that command center. Hold that thought as the Reapers come in. GuMiho picks off a couple of SCVs here to start things out. Grenades going down as well. This is a great engagement here for GuMiho. He picks off the Marines as well.
He does
6 SCVs.
Pushes away the Reaper. Another Reaper comes up.
That was an insane amount of damage, and most of the Reapers even get away.
Yeah, that was pretty insane when you consider the fact that usually, you know, after the first couple Reapers come out, if they've secured their base, they're not going to take that much damage. CC is being built over here, along with the Cyclone back at home right now for GuMiho. You know, I got to say, I really like this position for GuMiho. He's ahead in workers. His command center is going to be soaking up minerals earlier. He's got a Cyclone, which is sort of a catch-all defensively.
Yeah, it kind of feels like he got everything that he wanted out of that early game rush. Those Reapers picked off a ton of SCVs kills, and not only the workers, but he also killed a handful of Marines. He got a Reaper as well, so SpeCial really on the back foot now. Gonna try and secure that expansion as GuMiho powering up back at home, going for a second Cyclone, adding into Starport and these barracks landing. We'll be starting these add-ons, and a very fast third gas here for GuMiho as well. SpeCial now landing his command center there at the natural.
This is such a tough start. And he does have some better tech, like the Raven's going to be out soon. The thing is, I don't think with that Raven, I don't think there's a lot you can do to kind of come in here and poke and prod at GuMiho.
I don't think so either, especially with 2 Cyclones out. They should be pretty good at zoning away any air units to try and come in. And GuMiho feeling really confident in his position, going to try and compound this economic advantage he has. Go for a third command center in the meantime. These 2 Cyclones, and Reaper's going to move out on the map. And what does SpeCial have at home to deal with this?
Well, oh man, talk about just leaving it last possible second there. Okay, well, you know what? That was actually shut down pretty nicely.
See you later, Reapers.
Not that the Reapers have a lot of utility later on, but
yeah.
you know, I think he wanted to use the Cyclones to try to pick up and pick up a kill on the Raven, but didn't quite happen here.
That's a nice micro from GuMiho, actually picking up 2 Hellions there, so that trait getting a little bit better.
You think about Disruptors and War Prisms, but a lot of times in Medevac with some Cyclones, the stuff you can get done with that is crazy.
Especially against Cyclones because it cancels the lock-on.
Yeah.
So, yeah, some nice control there from GuMiho as he makes that unfavorable exchange a little bit less painful. And yeah, both players going for 3 command centers. I think GuMiho also throwing down 2 engineering bays, so he is going full power mode right now back at home.
Double eBay here for GuMiho. And about a 5-worker lead. A little bit less, actually. Stim has gone about halfway here from GuMiho. I'm sorry, we never got Stim right now for SpeCial, right?
I was just thinking the same thing. I don't think that we have it.
Yeah, I think that's correct.
But there's a barracks for the tech lab, isn't there?
Maybe we missed it. I could
No,
be wrong.
we might have missed it. I'm sure we'll get an idea of this pretty soon.
No, it just started.
Wow.
Just started. Okay.
I feel like that's a blunder. I mean, it's
Well,
very late, isn't it?
I think he was very strapped to defend, right? And so I think getting an upgrade early on might have been a little bit like, you know, you're not really respecting the frankly bad position that you're in.
That's possible. Ooh, nice scan there from SpeCial. Gonna be able to pick off that Cyclone and also see the Army moving across the map, so he knows what he's trying to deal with right now. And look at the Army composition. SpeCial should have air control, but GuMiho has the superior position here in front of the natural expansion. He might be able to set up a contain even with these Vikings.
Yeah, and I think the tanks can keep anything on the ground from sliding up into this third base that SpeCial wants to take. Sometimes that's all you need. I think the Ravens may come in here with an auto turret. He has to figure out what he wants to do. Unsieging can be dangerous too because they're vulnerable, but the Raven's not there, so he can reconfigure.
I mean, eventually GuMiho is going to have to forfeit this position, right, because of the air control for SpeCial.
It's possible. It's possible.
I mean, he can't get vision for the full range. That's why he continues to scan.
He just doesn't want SCVs to be transferred there.
Yeah.
I suppose I guess he just moves the CC back anyways. It's just kind of like it's him taking his lead and kind of saying, yeah, you're not going to expand before me.
Gotcha.
We're not going to play even.
Yeah, it does certainly feel that way. I mean, he's had his third mining base fully saturated for, what, like 30 seconds now? So that's a lot of extra minerals. You can see it right there on the bottom.
Yeah.
2,400 minerals per minute for GuMiho to the 1,800 for SpeCial.
Yeah, really the numbers at the bottom of the screen tell the real story of you know, this race that has been sort of neck and neck, but GuMiho is slowly pedaling ahead. And by the way, 1-1's going to finish. I don't think this would queue up a bus, but let's see. I don't want to count it out. And the problem with doing what GuMiho is doing is that eventually, if they do take a fight, like you said, with the air superiority, it can backfire and you don't have that much.
It's actually a kind of,
that
GuMiho
was
comes
actually
in.
So good by him.
Wow, nice.
He ran in between when the unsiege was happening, forced a siege again, and killed the tank. That's huge.
Yeah, and he scans again, and he's going to see that there's no Marines here with this army. SpeCial, excuse me, right now trying to set up a flank over here on the other side, but GuMiho with a lot of Marines reinforcing should be able to deal with this, I think, quite well. I almost want SpeCial to kind of move across the map and try and pressure that third base a little bit.
And so he's going to try to, oh no, I'm sorry, he's going to drop the main. I thought he was going to try to intercept reinforcements. That would also be acceptable. Now the problem is when you see this attack come up here, the GuMiho, in this case, may be tempted to dive into the natural. And by the way, there's like just enough here. I don't feel like this drop from SpeCial could really do anything. Oh!
That was a lot of good damage up until he lost the medevac. 10 supply of units down the drain. I mean, he did get 6 SCVs, which equalizes things economically just a little bit, but SpeCial, he has to get out of his base. I mean, GuMiho just took this position here at the bottom of the ramp and never left it. SpeCial pulling SCVs to try and break this. He knows there are Marines back at home. The Ravens come in. They disable every single siege tank, and GuMiho just going to forfeit the spot. Sieging up right here behind this bridge. Marines coming in, take down one more siege tank. But GuMiho's supply right now, 143 to 110. It feels like he's in complete control.
Yeah, and he basically stepped back. Keep in mind, SCVs were killed off there, right? So he broke open the position, but at the cost of some of his workers. And now he needs to try to get something that's going to, you know, help him out here by moving out on this side of the map. And you can see the blocking from GuMiho has been very good. He's basically not allowing anything to cross through this river that cuts the map in half.
GuMiho is playing this very well positionally. The only thing that SpeCial really has in his favor right now is the air superiority, and he's going to use this information to try and pounce on this tank. Does get one pick off before he has to go back. Vikings get a medevac as well. And SpeCial's really going to have to leverage that Viking count if he's going to be able to make something happen here.
Yeah, and he's just kind of shutting them down at every turn. The fourth base at 12 o'clock is, looks like it's already got gas taken at it. Oh, I guess it's got SCVs being transferred to it soon.
Just now taking the gases, and I love this sensor tower here for GuMiho. He has complete information. He knows that SpeCial's coming up over here in this position, and GuMiho takes a pretty good fight. Able to take a siege tank, although he does lose a lot of Marines to do it. SpeCial takes down a tank as well, but GuMiho's army supply is so huge right now. And keep in mind, like SpeCial, a lot of his army supply, it's in the air. It's in 5 Vikings. It's not in units that can fight on the ground.
And I worry now that the counter punch is going to be too much, because look at this. GuMiho's going to slide right past him. GuMiho, you know, sorry, SpeCial maybe caught up in trying to catch these stray tanks. Now has a naked third CC here that will 100% be killed off.
Yeah, just gets melted by these Marines. And
there's actually quite a bit back at home here for GuMiho.
Yeah, GuMiho just fragmented off enough army to make a huge problem there for SpeCial, and also defend back on here at home. And look, the air army for SpeCial just completely wiped out. Only this small force on the ground remaining. GuMiho even coming in from the back with a Medivac, hitting from the top, hitting from the high ground, from the bottom. Just a masterclass right there, man. He took that natural expansion, put him in contain, and SpeCial never broke out.
It was pretty sick, man. GuMiho looked very, very good. Interesting opener. GuMiho at about 10 to 50% ahead, I'd say, most of the game. I think SpeCial was in a tough spot. I don't blame him for doing the SCV pull to try to get out. I mean, desperate times require desperate measures, but GuMiho basically kind of stayed ahead, zoned him very well, and SpeCial wasn't able to do what he needed to do, and so that's it. That's game one. But again, a long series ahead, I would say. And SpeCial not looking bad at all. Some of that did come down to those Reapers killing off enough SCVs early on.
Yeah, it felt like the Reapers snowballed the game a little bit early. I mean, that was, what, 5 or 6 SCVs that went down in the early game, and it's very tough to come back from that, especially in a mirror matchup. Workers are so critical as Tropical Sacrifice set number 2 is loading up right now. The game is ready. GuMiho up 1-0.
Are you ready?
I think I am.
I'm ready. All right, let's go!
Game start.
Because game start. Couldn't have said it better myself.
Terran, GuMiho.
Like on the monitors, we could see them loading into the game, and I feel like I'm so bad at timing the transition.
Here's the trick: is you don't look at the monitor, you listen to Caster Park. Because when he's done,
SpeCial.
then they switch in.
That's how you do it.
Yeah, that's my trick.
It's a trade secret.
I'm like one of those magicians. I'm slowly going to give away all my tricks here. You could buy my book for 15 bucks and learn all the caster tricks.
Oh my goodness, GuMiho's doing it again.
What? Oh yeah, he is. Look
All
at that.
right. We might just have a really fast day, Tasteless.
Yeah, can't win them all. I was kind of expecting us to be here until at least 10.
Well, I mean, SpeCial last game, like, keep in mind that he did get kind of caught out of position. Not in the initial attack with the Reapers, because he did spot them on the low ground before they came in.
It was the 7 from the bottom.
The 7 from the bottom came in, and GuMiho kind of had his army protecting the top side of his base and the natural ramp, and didn't expect GuMiho to come in basically where the mineral line is, and he has to pull SCVs to try and deal with it. But at that point, the Reapers just start two-shotting him or one-shotting him, and from that position, like, SCVs just drop like flies. It snowballs very quickly.
Yeah. Now, I don't think that. I mean, this game can't be exactly the same thing that happened in the last game, right?
Yeah.
There's no way. So, let's see if SpeCial's caught off guard. Also, I don't know about you, but whenever I see something like this, like the same rush again, I'm like, oh, the disrespect. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I kind of get that vibe a little bit.
This is a little bit different than a lot of other rushes. Like, this is sort of a kind of a rug pull strat.
I love SpeCial coming out here with the SCV, man.
Oh.
GuMiho getting the better of that trade.
Gonna get intercepted.
Such a quirky little dance.
But he's sending this Reaper across. Now.
Oh, I like that move. Yeah, that's a SpeCial Reaper. I was wondering why GuMiho was going back for a second. This is going to open him up to this pressure right here, though.
Now remember,
SCVs are pulled.
The Marine can't heal, the Reaper can. Well, I mean, it can't heal now. So, you know, these Reapers, the damage can become pretty immense. And once the Marine's dead, it's gone, like they can see here.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I don't know about sending that Reaper across map. I wonder how much damage SpeCial's really getting done.
Well, the problem is you got a micro on 2 fronts, and there's just more kind of room to fudge with here for GuMiho.
Yeah, and also, I mean, for GuMiho, when he's trying to defend back at home, like, you're just kind of putting the SCVs on the Reaper and forgetting about it, right?
Yeah.
As they're waiting for more units to come out.
There's not a lot of tricks with the SCV over there.
Yeah, this is snowballing really hard right here. GuMiho coming in once again. Is going to get the Hellion. Oh, it's 1 HP.
Oh my God, it's so low. And one just no-scopes him. And he's going to move this other Reaper back, the one that's injured.
So many SCVs going down right now, and this Reaper micro here from GuMiho is fantastic. Just one Hellion left yet again as 4 Reapers are coming in.
Dude, massive plays here.
Yeah.
I can't talk, sorry.
GuMiho
Massive plays,
microwave.
guys. Hi, I cast escape relief. The Reaper's back. It's 21 SCVs to 17 SCVs. SpeCial down.
I actually can't believe that GuMiho never sent a Reaper back to deal with this. I mean, SpeCial's getting a lot of damage done as well. This is such a scrappy game.
Now, this little area between the factory and the barracks, it's really abusable with grenades.
Yeah, oh, that's a perfect grenade right there. Hits pretty much every military unit there for SpeCial. Is GuMiho going to try and get as much damage as he does, but SpeCial, even I can't speak now.
It's a hard one to follow, man. Okay, so 21 SCVs to 18 SCVs. Add-on being recreated. Or I guess being created, wasn't killed off. What am I saying?
Yeah.
But a lot of the infrastructure now in the middle of the map here for GuMiho, right? He's going to use one barracks to scout while he starts a command center back at home. Do the Hellions have any kind of counterplay here? I'm not sure.
Yeah, what does GuMiho have back at home? He has, I guess, 2 Hellions and 2 Reapers. Okay, yeah, you can hold this off, I think.
This is fine.
Oh, man. I feel like I need a breather after that opening.
That was a lot.
Like, oh, that brain's like fried. Like, this is like the last series of the day. So, like, if this is like game 1, I'm all right, but...
And he's going to get this last one. Okay, now hold on. Is there now another opportunity to attack here from GuMiho? Because, like...
Yeah, the pendulum swings.
Yeah, and he made an add-on there, right? So there wasn't that much being made. Now, it's 1 Cyclone, so you never want to count that out. That's always kind of a catch-all.
1 Cyclone, 1 Hellion, and 3 Marines here for SpeCial as GuMiho's going to try and come in again. Gets a lot of damage here on this Hellion. Hellion gets taken down. The nades are fantastic. Cyclone does get 1 Reaper for its trouble. Is GuMiho going to, or SpeCial, excuse me, going to try and scramble here on the defense?
Magfield being upgraded over here in SpeCial's base. I almost said it was GuMiho because it's GuMiho and that's that upgrade where I'm like, well, I know you like that.
It's the GuMiho upgrade.
Yeah, of course you'd get that GuMiho. Oh, sorry, it's SpeCial. So he's going to keep making Cyclones. And it does feel like in TVT there are these moments where actually the Cyclone is the only logical move because things are getting, so scrappy.
The Cyclone is very good at controlling early chaos.
Yeah.
It's what the unit excels at. And that's kind of why in a normal game, the Cyclone comes out and the game just kind of quiets down up until siege tanks and medevacs are on the field. But
I like the way that you said that. It definitely quiets the game down. But with a drop coming in here, things could actually heat up even more. Because what he knows is that on the other side of the map, there's going to be Cyclones there for GuMiho. And so he's going to come in and basically try to start to pick up kills here and see if he can snowball this in the other way.
Yeah, and if he's able to take out the Cyclone of GuMiho, he's going to have a lot more freedom to roam. And with Magfield, he should go down pretty quickly, right? So we'll see what SpeCial's able to get done here. Medevac now coming into the main base. He has the barracks to scout, so he knows this position is completely vacant. And oh man, he's lucking on the Cloak Banshee upgrade. Oh, that goes down so fast.
Yeah, and he gets the other Cyclone without even needing to target on it. That barracks is quite a nuisance there when he landed that near the entrance.
Yeah, another Cyclone goes down there for GuMiho, but he will be able to clean this up, so not the end of the world. Man, I feel like I'm getting whiplash casting this.
It's intense, man. This is a real back and forth. Tanks and a Raven coming out now here for SpeCial. SpeCial, as different as the action has been in this game, we're kind of in the same spot as before. It's GuMiho with a pretty steady lead here.
Yeah, GuMiho.
About a 5-worker lead.
Yeah, 5-worker lead. Faster 3rd command center, I think. We'll have to check the production on that. Yeah, just a little bit faster. And already starting his barracks transition. There's 3 barracks going down, another one's going to land and set up a tech lab. I'm starting to like this position for GuMiho a lot, but man, I keep wondering like what the game state is because there's been so many skirmishes that I don't really know what anybody has at home. And SpeCial right now, he has Magfield on the Cyclone, and he has a Raven, so these two Banshees, they shouldn't get too much done, right?
I think so. I mean, it just depends on what kind of position he's going to be in back at home. It looks like he's going to be leaving right now, in which case this could end up with a real opening, a real opportunity to come in there and do some damage. The 3rd CC is about to land.
I think SpeCial's going mech. I have a mech against ByuN game.
Yeah, you're right. He basically got those mech upgrades harassed, and then he just stayed on it. Now, if you're going to go mech, and you're going to get your 3rd base before the other guy, and he's going ByuN, I do feel like this is kind of dangerous, right?
Yeah, but if it pays off, it could be a really good position for SpeCial.
True.
mean, he's got
I
a
just feel
lot
like
of.
when you see a guy on 3 bases, like, I mean, how many tanks do you realistically have to hold off just a wave of infantry?
Yeah, it's almost like he's going battle mech right now. I think he's going up to 4 cyclones before starting siege tank production yet again. Now double siege tank production coming in from SpeCial. In the meantime, GuMiho back at home, just powering up now with all of these barracks. But keep in mind, I mean, Stimpack is only halfway done, so there isn't much of a window for GuMiho to really get a lot of damage in just yet. And by the time he does, SpeCial might have a pretty healthy siege tank count. And I love this play by GuMiho. He waits until SpeCial's all the way across the map. He sees the army, and now the Banshees come in, already picking off 3, 4, 5 SCVs.
And, I mean, again, it's like he's never going to catch up to this 5 or more worker deficit. And, you know, this is just a lot. I mean, looks like, what, auto turret going to come down here?
It's got to be, right?
So he outruns the Cyclone. God, the range on that is just hilarious sometimes.
Yeah, it's kind of unintuitive because most of the time you see it, it's kind of constricted by vision in most interactions. So when you actually have the full vision to like use the full Cyclone range, it's like, wow,
it's insane.
Yeah.
But look at this. 1-1's going to finish, and this is where I want to see if, you know, SpeCial maybe bit off more than he can chew, because I just can't imagine with a third base and the fact that the factories are only just now starting to produce, couldn't you like either be broken at your entrance or even worse, dropped in your main?
Yeah, SpeCial's going to be sailing some rough waters these next couple of minutes, and I really feel like the entire game will come down to how well he's able to kind of manage the attacks that are going to be inevitably coming out of GuMiho. Now the first drop coming in the main, the Cyclone actually going all the way back to the natural expansion. A little bit late here, but he will be able to clean this up.
Okay, so these Marines are going to get wiped out, no problem.
That's a lot of units here for SpeCial at the top side, but the battle mech with a scan maybe gets 1 siege tank.
Sort of a funny looking game now. Are there no medevacs with that army down at the bottom?
I don't think so, because on the units tab we only had 2 medevacs out for GuMiho, and you see the drop there on the third base. So yeah, both of these coming out.
So he has no way to pick up anything. I for some reason thought he had at least 4 medevacs when that push came out. I thought he would just pick up and go in the main.
In a normal game he would, but remember he made those Banshees.
Right.
So the starport was a little bit slower in making those medevacs, but yeah, medevacs right now are really critical for GuMiho. He really needs to increase that count because that's kind of how you set up the multi-prong attacks as the bio player. And right now, SpeCial's doing a great job of catching these. Look at that.
Dude, another big shutdown. Now, SpeCial wants to try to drag this game out a little bit. It's going to take him a little bit longer to get the kind of mech that he needs. By the way, a lot of kills on these SCVs. Again, just kind of keeping SpeCial down.
I would love to see just 1 Cyclone patrolling over here in the main base for like the rest of the game, basically. Because these drops, I mean, even though he caught that first medevac, this is still a ton of damage. 14 SCVs.
Okay, this is, you know, becoming a little bit shocking. Because, like, he was ready to fight that, but, you know, eventually you want to either you know, you have enough SCVs that you can,
this Marauder is still up, man.
Yeah, you have enough SCVs that you go, you know, okay, I'm going to just win this outright, but instead what's happening is, like, I don't even think he's watching, actually, like, everything is being killed off, this fight's still happening. Now he cracks up with his position, tanks are unsieged. It gets worse and worse here for SpeCial.
Yeah, kind of a domino effect right now with SpeCial just failing to handle that drop at the top, and GuMiho sets up a fantastic position of the natural ramp and just closes out that game as GuMiho's leading now 2-0. Man, I feel like SpeCial was just like kind of juggling everything perfectly until he wasn't. And that 1 medevac there in the main base, I don't know if SpeCial thought that like he pulled enough that he could just A-move and it's gonna kind of clear up on its own, but that's not what happened.
No, are we gonna have 2 more Raxes again?
Maybe.
Maybe.
It's been working.
Very exciting early game, by the way.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. That was tough to keep up with.
It was pretty wild, man.
Like, I feel like I can't kind of translate what's happening. I feel we gotta like fly Eminem out from like America to like rap battle and commentate
the
these
rap battle
TVTs.
caster come out here.
Like I'm not. My brain doesn't work fast enough anymore, man. Like I'm getting older.
Wait until you get to my age. It's all downhill. Guys, game 3 is going to be on Inside and Out. GuMiho versus SpeCial here. In what is looking like dire straits right now for SpeCial. He's not playing bad, but he just isn't able to really hang with GuMiho. Let's see if this is going to be his redemption arc or the end of day 1 of the GSL SuperTournament with a 3-0 for GuMiho.
Terran, GuMiho. Terran, SpeCial.
All right, so no Proxy T-Rex coming out of GuMiho this time. Instead, it's going to be a gas first opening. Barracks in the main.
Yeah, a little bit tucked away from the ramp.
Yeah, what do you make of that? Is this
well? I think a lot of times, you know, you scout, and if you see the depot somewhere, and then there's not the racks there, you might immediately be tricked, even for a second, into thinking that it's somewhere else.
Especially
like
after
racks.
Yeah, especially after 2 games of getting.
After 2 games, yeah. So I think it's a pairing build for the first 2 games, because and we've seen a lot of people do this. Okay, if you're going to scout for a proxy, do you scout the whole map, or do you just scout their main?
Yeah, there's 2 different philosophies there, because it's got the main base, you know what isn't there.
Yeah, you know, okay, well this, and unless they did the rare play of like making it just outside their main or something like that. And this is one where it's like, maybe he just goes up and he starts to overreact. And I mean, let's see what the pathing is for the SCV, because let's see if it works out the way he wants it to.
Well, he's going to see the
never mind.
going.
Right, so this is.
I mean, if SpeCial had moved his SCV cross map immediately.
Yeah, he would have came in there and been like, oh no.
All right, factory now coming down for GuMiho.
And this is a defensive Reaper.
Mm-hmm.
We have Reapers being made back at home for SpeCial as well.
Much of a slower start here. I needed this after the last game.
I know. Okay.
Oh, here we go again. I'm getting deja vu.
It's a glitch in the Matrix. So he gets that SCV. It's already a bad start here for SpeCial.
This is an interesting
This
unit
is like a
interaction.
very bad duel where GuMiho just comes out on top.
Yeah, I know that GuMiho comes out on top, but I don't really understand the mechanism of what happened there. Like, did he just have 1 less SCV hit on his Reaper?
It's
or
either I think the SCV gets an extra hit or the Reaper gets an extra hit. And so
it's such a interesting unit interaction.
I know, right? Although I feel like the correct play back then would have been to just run. Now, he's going to keep pursuing this. But, you know, we're starting to see in all these games, SpeCial sort of lose these small fights early on.
Yeah, it feels like every single Reaper skirmish, GuMiho has come out ahead. In game 1, it was not only the initial attack, which got, I think maybe 1 Reaper in an SCV, but the follow-up, they got a ton of SCVs. And then in game 2, it felt like, with the exception of the Reaper that went cross-map to GuMiho's base, GuMiho was just in complete control of the early game right there. Got so much damage done with his Reapers, and now once again in game 3, already Reaper up. And I mean, that kind of advantage early on in one player's favor so consistently is difficult to overcome.
This is really bad.
I'm really surprised that SpeCial opted to go up that ramp after losing his first Reaper, right? I mean, he's going to have the same units, isn't he?
You're 100% right. It's like, why would you ever go forward, right? If you knew you're going to have less, right? Like a lot of times, if you have it back and forth and then you lose the fight, you go, that's it. I got to stay back until I have a reason to justify myself going back out.
Maybe he was trying to catch GuMiho playing a little bit more greedy, but instead he's going to get another unfavorable trade. As these things, although they are small, they do tend to add up. And I mean, it gives GuMiho the freedom to do this. He's going to get scouting information. He gets a worker, which, although small, is a lot of value. And oh man, the Reaper's lined up there, and then naturally gets both. There's 3 Hellions.
This might be the worst start out of all 3 of the games, to be honest.
Oh, it's a disaster.
And he's not really pulling SCVs away like he needs to. You know what I mean?
Reaper comes in the main base, gets another SCV.
And again, these Reapers, they don't have any value later on. So if you could actually trade them out for SCVs, that's really good.
It just feels like GuMiho is so on top of these early game battles.
Yeah, well, he's playing actually so well today. It's kind of crazy. You know, when he came back, I was really wondering, where's he going to be at? Because some of these guys come back, and it's like, yeah, it's cool, you can hang, you know. And then other guys come back, and I'm like, oh, you might actually win a GSL. This is crazy.
Yeah, it's kind of a mixed bag in terms of players coming back from retirement or from a military service.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting to see who's able to make it work in the new meta and who isn't. I mean, like, Hero came back in like a year. He was already one of the top Protoss players in Korea.
Yeah, Hero looked like he never left. Hero looked like
Exactly.
he was training in secret and just came out for this moment.
He's the best Protoss player in the world now. GuMiho, since he's come back, has been playing fantastically, and that continues now as this Banshee coming into the main base. Oh, there's another one of the natural.
Okay,
That's
taps
it.
out. GG. SpeCial goes down in a rough series.
Yeah, it feels like GuMiho with just tactical victory after tactical victory.
Yeah.
Able
Well,
to
that was even
translate
smart. At the
those.
very end, and just wait. He pockets the Banshees, realizing, you know, okay, you're going to be looking for some kind of damage. And so that's what he does. He comes in there, closes that out. A lot of drama today, man. You know?
Yeah, a lot of drama, a lot of kind of one-sided series. I mean, we had 2 3-0s and 2 3-1s.
It's hard to top the one-sidedness today, to be honest, guys. I don't think we're going to have the same thing on Thursday. But that's it for day 1 of our 4-day event.
Well, this is 3 3-0s and a 3-1, right?
3 3-0s and a 3-1, that's right. Although I do think that Maru and Classic was not, I mean, you know, Maru's so good. I don't think Classic played poorly. I don't even think Creator played that poorly for, you know, a lot of the series back there either. SpeCial had a rough run though.
GuMiho takes down SpeCial in the last match of the first day of the Super Tournament. Congratulations. Thank you. In GSL Season 3, you were able to make it to the round of 4 after 5 years, and in that process, there were so many heartwarming moments for you. And then riding on the momentum, you're now able to move on to round of 8 with the Super Tournament. How do you feel? Well, after making it to the round of 4, my momentum actually got slowed down. In Atlanta, I got eliminated pretty quickly. In Home Story Cup, the results were disappointing. And I had a feeling that my hands weren't moving as I wanted them to. But today, my micro was pretty good on the stage. So, you know, for micro, it's pretty random these days. And then you started off the first game with the 2-Rex proxy, so what was that about? Well, SpeCial's builds are very unorthodox, so it's really hard to cope with. So I did use a 2-Rex to not make him feel safe going for the strategy he normally would use. And then you were able to grab 21 SCVs from SpeCial. A 3-0 score. Did you predict this one? No, not really. I mean, I've been on a losing streak these days. I'm lacking confidence. So whether I lose or not, whether I win or lose, I feel like I have a lot of hesitation in my plays. And you know, I did try my best though today. I mean, last season we got to see that emotional reverse sweep from you, GuMiho, over DRG. And then it was a close match against Ragnarok in the round of 4, although you did lose that one. So how's the TVZ for you these days? As for TVZ, it's really fascinating. You know, sometimes I play really well in a TVZ, and then sometimes I play so badly. But these days, I'm playing really badly in the TVZ. So I'm really scared if I have to go up against Solar in the round of 8. I mean, Solar, I talked to him before, and then he was full of confidence in his interview. And then he said that he's going to defeat 1 or 2 Terran players that he'll be facing in the round of 8. Then for you, GuMiho. GuMiho, I mean, Solar did compliment you on your play. He said that you play dirty. So that's a big compliment. I mean, I wouldn't be sad if Solar was like really exceptionally good that I couldn't defeat him. But it's always been a close match against him, and I always slip by a small gap. So now that I have 1 week of preparation, I'm gonna have to make Solar preparation and try to defeat him in the round of 8. GuMiho, you taped your hands right now, you taped your wrists, so what's that about? I mean, these days my wrists and moreover my fingers hurt a lot, so I'm taping them.
두 손가락 아프다가 지금은 세 개가 아프고.
You know, from some point, you know, my fingers started hurting, and then my wrist, and then like all the other body parts. So I'm trying to tape to pull up my performance these days. Well, I hope you recover quickly, GuMiho.
열심히 하시기 때문에 좋은 성적 나오고 있는 것
I mean,
같거든요.
GuMiho, you're yielding good results since you're trying so hard these days. So anything else you want to say?
사실 GSL 4강 가고 저한테 기대.
I mean, recently I made it to the round of 4, and the fans have a lot of expectations on me. And I've been showing some disappointing results these days, so I'm really feeling sorry in that regard. But for this super tournament, I'll try to get good results, better results, and try to show a better performance than before.
다시 한번 고병재 선수
GuMiho,
축하드립니다.
once again, congratulations on your win today. Thank you.
네, 이렇게 시즌 2 오늘 첫
And
번째
that's a wrap for the last
태강
match
진출자부터
of the
네
GSL
번째
Super Tournament
진출자까지
Day 1.
만나봤는데요. 오늘 최종 정리와 16강
Let's just have Andy close out the entire show.
상황.
No, keep going, man. Excellent work, Andy, as always. This was a fun day. I wish it was a little bit closer, but you know, you're weeding out the weaker players only to have better games later on.
Yeah, I kind of feel like everyone that advanced today just straight up played a lot better. You know, there's a couple of mismatches like Maru Classic, ByuN Armani. I mean, Classic, I feel like he played well. I'm excited to see, you know, what he brings to the table next year. But Maru, just best Terran player in the world, maybe best player in the world, who knows? And I think Thursday is going to be a lot more competitive.
Yeah, it better be, right? I mean, Hero Bunny's going to be a lot of fun. DRG Ryung, let's see how Ryung plays. Sometimes he's pretty good. DRG has looked pretty solid. Dark versus Su, you cannot go wrong with that. Dark looking so strong, but you never know with Su, man. He can take on, especially in ZVC, pretty much anybody. And then Ragnarok versus Cure, that's going to be a great one as well.
Yeah, next week's going to be, or next week, excuse me, Thursday is going to be a lot of fun.
By the way, guys, this show, every day of this show starts 5 p.m. KST. So if you're somebody who wants to come either in the studio or you want to tune in live, and do not be mistaken, this is not the time that a normal GSL Codas is on. It's the same day, but it's an hour and a half earlier. Same studio that we do GSL Codas in as well.
Yeah, I mean, 4 best-of-5s in a day. Need to start a little bit earlier in case things go down to the wire.
That's the funny thing. Let's see, what time is it now? It's 8:30 p.m. So this is about as early as we could have ended, but a lot of times it goes to like 10:30, 11. So we want to make sure the staff here has time to take the train home. It closes at midnight, so yeah.
It was a lot of fun though. I mean, I enjoyed the games, especially like Game 1 and Game 2 from Creator versus Solar were so much fun.
You know, it's going to be an interesting 2023 to see, if Creator can kind of defeat his demons, because it seemed like he did it for the middle of this year. It seemed like he really had that kind of calm that you have to come out and really play with the very, very best, but then it's like he got pulled back in after not winning, not succeeding, I should say, in Season 3, but also ultimately losing in the finals of Season 2.
I think he has high expectations for himself, and it's frustrating for him when he loses, as it is for all of us, but yeah, hopefully we'll see more from him next year, and hopefully he will be able to, overcome those demons, as you said, because this is like a player that has the potential to be the second best Protoss player in the world, easily,
Absolutely.
in my opinion. I mean,
And
he's so good.
honestly, some of the strats he's doing are so good.
Yeah, they're fun to watch.
Like
they're cool. They work.
Game 1 strat, I'm like, this is insane. This is so, like, 5 layers deep, like Inception or whatever. Like, how deep in the dream can you go to trick him into behaving a certain way to then ultimately close it out and win the game? But yeah, man. I mean, you got to be able to lose some of the games on the way to winning and not let that destroy you.
Yeah, especially when you go for a composition like that Sky Toss one. I mean, like one thing goes wrong with that play style and you're dead. That's just the way the game works when you play Sky Toss.
You have a Jenga army at that point in time. Like you lose a couple of those pieces at the bottom, come out, the whole thing's going to go down.
Yeah, that's a great way of putting it.
Thank you.
Nice.
Excellent work today. Good to be with
you
you again here. Artosis, if you're watching, we love you. We hope you're doing well in Canada. And I look forward to doing the rest of this season, man.
Yeah.
The last StarCraft 2 season, last StarCraft 2 worked for me for the whole year.
Yeah, I feel like it's only going to get better from here, too. I mean, Thursday matches, Hero versus ByuN to start things out is going to be a treat.
Oh, yeah. And I think, we did have some kind of mismatches here for the round of 16, but this happens sometimes early on in tournaments. And, with Classic, I wish he could have maybe faced off against somebody besides Maru, but ultimately somebody has to face off against Maru.
Yeah, and I mean, like, he played pretty well. Like, I do think that a lot of these players that are coming out of military service going into next year, have a lot to prove, and I think the potential is there. Like, I mean, Classic 3 years ago was one of the best Protoss players in the world. Sue, historically been one of the best Zergs in the world.
It's insane to see how much time can change the status of a player. Like, I remember just thinking Zest was basically going to be like Rogue or Maru, you know, for the next, who knows how long, you know, 5, 6 years. And then, you know, he falls off, but you don't see him quite come back the same way. But yeah, because the question right now for everybody here in Korea is, can Maru just keep going? Will we get a G6 or 6 SL tournament? We'll see. That's all the time we have, guys. Thursday, 5 p.m. KST. See you online or see you here in the studio. Good night.